First of all, is there an echo? Is there an echo? Remember I had a little tiny one at the beginning of last week? Hey guys, how you guys doing? Let me know if there's a little bit of an echo or an echo. There shouldn't be. There shouldn't be at all. There absolutely unequivocally should not be. There shouldn't be at all. Absolutely unequivocally should not be. Like I'm waiting for the lottery tickets now. What is the winning number? Just let me know in the comment section, guys, if there is an echo at all, or a little bit of an echo, or no echo. I'm hoping there's no echo. A little bit of an echo, or no echo. I'm hoping there's no echo. A little echo, really? That makes no fucking sense. Really? That makes no sense. Really? That makes no sense. Wonder why that is. Wonder why that is. I love echoes. There's an echo. It's so strange. There's an echo. Why this broadcast? Why this broadcast? Why this broadcast? Why this broadcast? Is there sound now? Should be. Is there sound now? This is so strange. Should be. Is there sound now? I read lips. Should be. Is there sound now? I read lips. There's sound now, right? There's a little bit of a delay. I apologize, guys, again, because there's a little bit of so strange. I apologize. I hear you now, Dave. Okay, good. Do you still hear the echo? Still echo? Yeah, that's so weird because there shouldn't be. Yeah, that's so weird. At the beginning of every broadcast, I'm here at like 10:45 doing tests. I'm here. Same test, no echo. At broadcast, there's an echo. Same test, no echo. At broadcast, there's an echo. Ah, that's so frustrating. That's so frustrating. Should not be. Maybe if I do. Oh, should not be. Maybe if I do. Oh, should not be. How about now? Still an echo now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Blah blah blah. That's really kind of annoying. Can you hear me now? That's not what you guys come here for. Blah blah blah. That's really kind of annoying. Can you hear me now? That's not what you guys come here for. Blah blah blah. That's really kind of annoying. That's not what you guys come here for. It's so strange. It's so strange. What did I do before last week? What did I do before last week? Everything's down. Everything's down. Everything's... How about now? Is there an echo now? Echo, but more delayed. No echo, no echo. Okay, so I know what the problem is then. All right. Jeez. It's so funny because I know what the problem now is. All right, because I don't hear it on my end, but you guys are hearing it on your end. There's a little button that it doesn't register on my end that you're hearing the echo. Okay, I know what to do now each and every week. All right. Hey, how you guys doing? All right, let's get this started. Now, I appreciate everybody tuning in. This is totally awesome. Welcome to episode 7 of Thorazine. For those of you who are watching this later and couldn't make the broadcast, I apologize once again that we had to take the first, 5 minutes of the broadcast to figure out the echo situation. But I will make a mental note of this for next time, and we should be golden. Because, yeah, there's no reason why I should be doing this. It's just this little fucking thing. Okay. Before I go to the chat room and answer some of your questions, there's a few people that couldn't make it today. So they've sent in some Patreon, a couple questions via the Patreon page, which I'm going to answer now, just to get that out of the way first. Okay, this first one comes from David Lee Barron. And David Lee says, I will not be able to make it tomorrow, meaning today, for Thorazine. Here's my question. In the original 1978 TV version of Halloween, how come the word sister is written on the back of the door when the nurse and Dr. Loomis discover Michael's trashed room the day after he escapes? My friend Jesse uses this as an argument that Michael and Laurie were always siblings. P.S. Why was Michael's room trashed up? Did he have a tantrum before he escaped? Okay, well, the TV version of Halloween, those shots that we see in the TV version, there's a few things in the TV version I actually kind of like. I actually think it adds to the theatrical release. Then there's other things that I think are completely unnecessary. But the whole point of that was Carpenter went back. He had to shoot some extra footage to fill the runtime for network television on NBC, I believe, because the movie was too short with commercials. I think he had to hit about the 2-hour mark. Not of the movie. With commercials, he had to hit about the 2-hour mark or somewhere in and around there. So he had to go back and he shot some extra stuff. Just some filler stuff to fill sort of, some extra time. And since Halloween 2, I believe, had already been released by this point, I think anyway. I stand to be corrected on that, actually. But I think it had. He wanted to match the continuity up. Actually, let me just quickly double check that. Halloween movie TV premiere NBC, because I want to make sure I'm not saying that incorrectly. Maybe somebody knows. Nostalgia fan editor Halloween trailer. Yeah, okay. I stand to be corrected on this. I'm pretty sure the network premiere of the original Halloween was after Halloween 2. But I stand to be corrected. If anybody knows in the chat, pipe up, or maybe you guys have a little more time to kind of figure that out. But anyway, the whole point was to fill the time. And I believe at this time, Halloween 2, 1981 had already been out. So the idea of Laurie and Michael being brother and sister was already there. So this was, good for continuity. But there's a couple of ways that you could look at it. You could look at it that he's talking about he's going back to Haddonfield for his sister, or he's written sister on the door because that's who he murdered in 1963. Okay, so there's a couple of ways that it doesn't necessarily read, conclusively to the idea that he's going back to Haddonfield for his other sister. All right, although if this TV version had been on television after 1981, or in 1981 after the release of the second film, then it would make sense continuity-wise that that's what they were alluding to. But the TV version is not the official canon version. Okay, you ask John Carpenter, and he doesn't like what he only did that because he had to fill network time. So it's sort of in its own right, almost this little small alternate universe. Really, there's a couple of things I actually quite like. The scene with Dr. Loomis and the two doctors in that sort of boardroom or whatever, that lecture hall. I actually like that scene. It's a little long, it's a little sort of boring, but I actually like it. It adds some nice exposition there. So there's a couple of things I like about it, but it's not officially canon. The theatrical version of Halloween from 1978 is the only one that is truly officially canon. Yeah. Why was his room trashed up? Well, the rage, Michael. The rage. He was pissed. He was pissed. He was done. He had waited 15 years, sitting in a room, staring at the wall, not seeing the wall, looking past the wall. He just, that's how I interpret it, right? So with your friend Jesse, he's not wrong, but he's not right either, if you know what I mean. Like, it's sort of up for debate, because it wasn't the official theatrical version. It wasn't even the official version. It was just sort of done to fill that network time. It was like a special edition, right? Do you know what I mean? But it wasn't really conclusively considered canon because it's not the version you can get right now when you go buy the Blu-ray or go buy the DVD. You can get the TV version, but I don't even know if you can get the TV version on Blu-ray or DVD. I don't even think you can. I have the TV version on VHS, but I don't even know if you can get it like on DVD or Blu-ray. So it's not the official version. Anyway, I'm being long-winded there, but that's sort of what I was talking about. Let's just quickly go to the chat, or maybe somebody's got the date there. No, nobody knows. Okay. Oh, these shots were taken well after 1960. Oh, yes, they were. You're right, John. They were. Yes, they were. They were shot like Curtis had already had short hair at the time, and she had to go. Well, she had short hair when she shot Halloween 2 as well. But anyway, yeah. Okay. Let's go on to the next question. Chris Manley says, "Hey Dave, how's it going? Unfortunately, I won't be able to tune into the in live, but I do have a question. What were your thoughts on the Laurie versus Michael fight in Halloween H2O being so one-sided? Michael didn't get any offense in apart from one stab. Laurie kicked his ass. Do you think that ruined some of his character?" It depends on how you look at it. I mean, obviously, the entire whole point of Halloween H2O was about redemption, seeing the transition, seeing her go from this, fearful, running, hiding person to standing up for herself, facing her fear, kind of like what she's doing in this new movie. Although she's been ready and prepared and ready for action in this new film from the very beginning of the film. In Halloween H2O, we see that transition. We see that progression from to, come on, bitch. You know what I'm saying? We actually see that arc. So it makes sense that by the third act, she's going to be doing that. I mean, it would be strange if they didn't. That's one of the reasons why I don't like Halloween H2. Well, there's a lot of reasons why I don't like it, but I mean, Michael's the boogeyman. There should never be a position where Michael is categorically put in a really vulnerable state that it humanizes him so much that he becomes weak. Okay, that doesn't mean there aren't moments where you think you got him. Oh, I think we got him. But there's never unquestionable, oh, he's getting his ass handed to him. There should never be any of that. So unfortunately, yeah, that is what they did, but it had to suit they did that because you had to complete the arc of Laurie Strode in that film. So do I think it makes him look weak? Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, it does. Yep, absolutely. Okay, Brett Young says, here's one of my questions, just in case I'm unable to make it, but I'll try. I recently got the thorn symbol tattoo on my wrist, just as Michael, as a fan. Do you have or want any Halloween-related tattoos? I don't have any related Halloween tattoos. I did get this new tattoo here yesterday on my arm, the 79. It's still sort of healing a bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's healing. It's kind of swollen at the moment, but I got that. I don't have any Halloween tattoos or related Halloween tattoos. I don't think I'll ever get one. I'm not very a pop culture-y person. I mean, you never say never, but I certainly wouldn't. And I respect that you got the Thorn tattoo. That's cool. But I certainly would never get the Thorn tattoo because I just don't like the movies. But that's great that you do, right? That's totally awesome. It makes sense that you would do that. Okay, then finally, he just quickly follows it up with P.S. I'm forcing myself... okay, he just says, I'm forcing myself not to watch the new trailers, as mentioned before. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's go on to the chat room. 10 people watching. Great, guys. Great that you can join us here on this Saturday, September the 8th, 2018. Sorry about the big delay there with the echo, too. Let's go to the chat room. Anybody saying? Everybody talking? Everybody's talking amongst each other. That's so great. Will Meyer says, it looks like the TV version came out in October 1981, right around the time when H2 came out. Thank you, Will. Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, then that makes sense, right? Because they're trying to tie in the continuity with the release of Halloween 2. So that makes perfect sense. Yeah. David Ferguson says, in a scale of 1 to 10... on a scale of 1 to 10, I think you mean. How excited are you about tonight, Dave? Oh, I'm very excited. Yes, tonight, for those of you that don't know, I'm sure you all do, of course, I'm going to see the world premiere of Halloween tonight in Toronto which is where I am, but going downtown. I don't live right downtown. So my buddy and I are going to head right downtown into the epicenter of Toronto. For those of you that haven't been to Toronto, Toronto's like, it's the New York of Canada. It's got great energy, millions of people, skyscrapers galore. It's got the CN Tower, which of course used to be the tallest building in the world, but it's still the tallest in the Western Hemisphere. So just great energy and vibe to the city. So that alone is enough to bring anybody downtown. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm getting together with my buddy today at 3 o'clock. And then we're going to go from his place downtown. We're going to be documenting everything. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to upload a video of what we shot today. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I am. I'm really excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. My fingers are definitely crossed. Oh, KC Sportsnut 33 says, I haven't seen the new trailer either. Oh, good. Good. Hey, you know what? I respect that. I totally respect that. If I didn't have this YouTube channel, and if I wasn't, if there weren't people sort of wanting to know my thoughts, I could see myself not bothering to watch it. But at the same time, when it comes to spoilers for me, it takes a lot. I said this not too long ago, or maybe I said this on Hallow Stream last week. I said that for me, for a spoiler, it has to be a real, like a big spoiler that changes the fundamental foundation and direction of the narrative. Like if we suddenly found out that Laurie was, his sister in this movie after all, or we found out that Michael was suddenly, somebody else, or you know what I mean? Those things I'm like, yeah, don't tell me that. But like if somebody was to say, hey, Tommy Doyle's in the movie after all, and you see it in a trailer, okay. That doesn't do much for me. Like, that's okay. We kind of expected that, or that makes sense. Ben Tramer's in the movie. Oh, cool. Okay. It doesn't, those things don't ruin it for me because I still don't know how it progresses. I still don't know what the execution's like. I still don't know what the exposition's like. I still don't know what the sequence of events is like, right? So that is still new and fresh and exciting. So it's like finding out that, oh, Disney World has a new awesome ride. Oh, cool. But you still don't know what the ride is like, right? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, cool. So it's still for me, I'm still getting to experience what the ride is like for the first time. But everybody's different. Everybody's different. Okay, Tabitha McCauley. Oh, yeah, Tabitha, you said something up here about your wedding. Oh, I think it's great. You gave a date on your wedding, I think. Sorry if I missed it. Hang on. Wait. There it is, September 29th. My wedding is September 29th. Everybody, in case you missed it, Tabitha is getting married on the 29th. That's awesome. Congratulations, Tabitha. I hope it's a wonderful day, and I hope you guys have a wonderful life together. This is just the beginning, as they say. Okay, let me scroll down here. Aircar33 says, have you donated to Jamie Lee's foundation to win a chance to watch Halloween with her and Danny McBride? No, I haven't done that. I'm going to be in Los Angeles. The reason why I haven't is because I'm actually going to be in Los Angeles anyway, the week that's happening. I'm doing some voiceover work that week in Hollywood, and the 40th anniversary convention is the weekend prior to that week. So I actually will be in Hollywood while the Los Angeles premiere is happening as well. So that just lucked out. I didn't plan that. That just happened to luck out. Now, I don't have tickets to the Hollywood premiere, so it's not like I'll necessarily be attending that. But my hotel may be around the corner, so maybe I'll go down and check it out for you guys. Fuck it, I'm telling you, someone's looking over my shoulder today. Like I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, what the hell? Yeah, it just kind of lucked out that way. So I figured, no, there's no point. I'm not, I don't feel the need to watch it with. Would it be cool? Yeah, it'd be cool, but I'm not fanboy like that, really. I'm not that kind of a person. I never really have been. So I'll leave that to somebody who, thousands of people are going to enter, but I'll take myself off the table and leave that to somebody who's going to go goo goo gaga over it. John Bruce says, hey Dave, did you notice that at the end of the international trailer, Michael had a huge gash on his upper back? No, I did not notice that. I will look for that next time I watch the international trailer, John. Thanks for pointing that out. David Ferguson says, I think the second trailer was the best, too. Less is more with regards to Michael. Yeah, I actually preferred the first trailer on first pass, but having watched the international trailer more now, they're kind of neck and neck for me. But I do get what you're saying about the Michael Myers thing, 100%. Yes, yeah, I agree with that. But, you know, I think at the end of the day, I think both trailers have good energy to them. And both trailers, one is more Michael Myers centric, one is more Laurie Strode centric. So that makes sense, right? It's a coming together, right? We see Michael preparing, we see Laurie preparing, and they're building to this epic sort of moment, right? Which is really cool. Okay, let me just scroll back here, make sure I haven't missed anything. Not that, you know, it's hard to miss because that's what I like about these AMAs too, is that because it's so intimate, you know, I should be able to hit everybody's question, or at least do my best to. Okay. Just want to make sure. Minus the cool atmosphere, James Jude Courtney looks like he is going to win the award for Best Nick Castle. Yeah, I think he's doing a good job. That's from Aircar33. I think he's doing a solid job. Like I said in my video, I posted a couple of days ago, he has to make it his own. He has to make it his own. Nobody wants him to go in doing a Nick Castle impression. Just like we didn't want, I forget his name now, the guy who played Han Solo in the Solo film. He didn't go in doing a Harrison Ford impression, but he definitely brought the essence of the character there. Even if you didn't like the movie, I think we all can agree that, yeah, there were moments where it's like, oh, yeah, he's got Han Solo down. He's got the spirit of the character down. So that's what we want with this. Because it's a direct sequel to the 1978 original, this incarnation of Michael Myers has to have that spirit. So James is going to do his own thing, but he's got to bring that essence there. And so far, yeah, I think he's done so far, yes, he's done a good job with that. So James, if you're watching, which obviously he's not because he doesn't have access to this feed, I think he's doing a good job. And if I get a chance to meet him at the 40th anniversary convention in Pasadena, and I will tell him that for sure. I think he's doing great so far anyway. Tabitha McCauley says, Dave, my cousin has a proxy server and is using her friend's account. She can watch the new Halloween movie now. I'm thinking of watching it on there before the theatrical release. I don't know. I don't know, Tabitha. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I understand why it's tempting, and I understand why people are so excited, and I understand the urge and the need. But if it was me, I would love to experience that in the theater with a bunch of people. Besides the fact that there's, it's not really morally right to do that, and maybe even legally right to do that. I totally understand that people do it. And, I can't tell you what you shouldn't and shouldn't do. But there's something about being able to see a movie, especially a horror movie, in a theater with a bunch of people for the first time. Because you're experiencing everything together for the first time. Sitting there watching it with a bunch of Halloween fans in a dark theater with 250 people, close to Halloween time, so the vibe and the mood and the atmosphere of the season is there, and it's at night, and the sun goes down earlier in the fall, even if you live on the West Coast, and it's warm most of the year, the sun goes down earlier in the fall, right? So there's something about that mood and atmosphere and energy of the people and, being in a dark theater and hearing the screams and you going like this. It's just fun. It's really fun. And if it was me, I think if I watched it, once, I'm probably going to be able, I'm probably going to want to watch it again. So by the time it's theatrically released on October the 19th, I'll have watched it 2 or 3 times, and I'm going to go pay to see it with a bunch of people that it's, the novelty's worn off. I saw somebody say the other day that, Dave is a lucky bastard because it's releasing in Canada now. Well, that's not true. It's the world premiere at TIFF now. But as soon as tonight is done, it's not playing anywhere in Canada. It still has the same theatrical release. North American theatrical releases include Canada. Okay? I don't know if they include Mexico, but when you hear domestic box office, that includes Canada, US. When you hear North American release, that includes Canada, US. So, yeah, it's playing once tonight here at the world premiere because it's at the festival here. But if I want to see the movie again, I have to wait until October the 19th, like all you guys. So, so yeah, for me, I just think there's something really fun about seeing it in a theater with a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? I can't tell you what to do. You got to make your own choice. You got to make your own decision. But for me, I would wait. I would wait. That's me. Tommy Gibbons says, do you think the classroom scene where they talk about fate will play a part in this? Oh, yes. Oh, 100%. 100%. It played a role in the original Halloween film as well. You know, it's very symbolic. There's a lot of symbolism in that first film. And the fact that that poster they released just a couple of days ago, the tagline was "Face Your Fate" or something to that effect. Yeah, that's a harken back to that moment. So it's come full circle now, right? It's come full circle. So yes, yep, absolutely. It definitely, there's an undertone of that for sure. Tabitha McCauley says, I don't know if it will be different. Are you referring to the... Well, maybe, I mean, it's all subjective. I'm just saying that if I was to watch the movie now, if I was to get a bootleg version of the movie now, and I was able to watch it to my heart's content, you know, I could watch it 5 times. Why would I bother going to see it in the theater? You know, why would I pay for it then? Right? Because then at that time, you're not paying to see what happens. You're just paying for the experience of watching it in the movie theater. And for me, I can't speak for you, but for me, I love watching horror movies in the movie theater, especially ones that are highly anticipated, ones that I'm hoping I'm really going to love, like The Conjuring or, you know, Insidious or... You know, I love watching it with a bunch of people for the first time, and we're all experiencing it together for the first time. So there's that first time energy and that vibe, and, you know, but that's me. That's me. So my advice would be to wait, but you have to make up your own mind. Okay. Tommy Gibbons says, what do you expect? When do you expect tickets to go on sale? I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. There's no doubt Universal and Blumhouse are paying very close attention to the world premiere tonight because the reviews, I don't believe there's an embargo, and the reviews will be up tomorrow. So be very cautious of that, ladies and germs. The reviews for Halloween 2018 will be up tomorrow. Now, as I said in a video a few weeks ago, or a week or so ago, I'm not going to do a formal movie review on Halloween 2018 until everybody has had a chance to see it. That's just my principle. I don't want anybody to get spoilers from my channel. I want all of you to experience it for the first time the way it was meant to be seen in the theater on October the 19th. I think that's important. Now, does that mean that there's nobody that's going to Google and read all the transcripts of all the reviews? Of course, probably the vast majority of you guys will, or most people who subscribe to my channel will, because they can't contain themselves because it's so easy to do now. But they're not going to get it from me. Now, that doesn't mean, as I said in that video, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to, you know, I may give a yay or a nay, or I might do a little paragraph blurb, you know, with sort of giving the impression of, oh yeah, I think you guys are okay, or you know, I might do something like that, like how some critics do when there is an embargo and they're not allowed to say anything, but they're allowed to give a general sort of blurb, you know, with what they thought. I might do that, you know, but I'm not going to upload a video where I'm going, you know, where it's like the Halloween 2018 review right now. I don't want to do that because I'm somebody that can't, well, you know me. I mean, you know, it's very hard for me to talk, you know, inconspicuously and generically because I'm so passionate about the you know, the project and the movie and the property, and so I will probably wait until after October the 19th, probably until I see the movie again as well, and then I'm able to have a better idea of how I feel about it too. I will definitely record myself, maybe even tonight after the movie, on my first impression thoughts, but I won't upload that until later, until, you know, probably towards the end, well, towards October the 19th. So that's just me. It's because I want you guys to experience it for the first... Tonight, I'm experiencing it for the first time without knowing what happens. And I want you guys to have that experience as well. That's just me. Okay? I'm not a formal movie reviewer. I don't make a living doing movie reviews. So I can do that. There are people that work for The Hollywood Reporter, Variety, The Toronto Star, The Los Angeles Times, you know, whatever, who are movie reviewers. That's what they do. That's why they're at TIFF, is to write about movies. So you're going to have formal movie reviewers writing about Halloween 2018 tomorrow, because that's their job. They have to do it. I don't have to do that. So that's why I'm taking a backseat going, nope, I don't want to do that. You know, I'll read them, and it's okay for me to read them because I've already seen the film. But I'm not going to upload one yet. Not yet. I want you guys to experience that. It's so important to me. But that's me. Tim Mendez says, is it almost time for you to pick a winner for the Halloween knife prop? Yeah, I was hoping to get to 100 patrons, Tim. I wanted to get to 100 patrons because that's my goal. Like every Patreon, if you guys are subscribed to other Patreons, people have goals, right? You know, some people want to get to 1,000 patrons. I'm like, holy crap. Some people want to get to 50. Some people want to get to 100. So, you know, my goal was to get to 100 because I thought that was a nice round number. And then I would put all your names into a draw, pick one at random, and whoever I pick, you know, the knife goes to. But we're at, I think, 64 patrons right now. There's still a few people actually too that I have to get in touch with because I'm not sure if they want to continue being patrons. So we're at about, I'd say 60 to 63. But what may end up happening is I might say, okay, if we can get to 75, then I'll do the draw. Or, you know, we'll see how the next few weeks go. And maybe I'll just pick from what we have so far. But I was hoping to get to 100 because I thought that was a nice round sort of number. But we'll see, Tim. We'll see. I will keep you guys posted on that. Oh, is it happy birthday for tomorrow, Tabitha? Oh, it's Tabitha's birthday tomorrow? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tabitha. Happy birthday to you. And if it's not your birthday, well, then I just made a fool of myself. Okay. Aircar33 says, what do you think about has one monster created another? Oh, yeah, it's a great line. Yeah, it's a great line. I mean, there's nothing really, it's a good line. It's a great line. It's not, I mean, there's nothing proprietary about it in the sense that, you know, we've heard things like that before in films, but it's cool. It gives another angle. It makes you go, oh yeah, I never thought of that, right? And there's a level of truth to that. Certainly because Laurie Strode has been obsessing and waiting for 40 years. You know, she hasn't really lived her life. You know, she's had a daughter that was taken away from her. She doesn't have really any relationship with her daughter or her granddaughter, which we're going to see that arc in this new film. And yeah, it's totally just been, you know, she hasn't had any good relationships. She hasn't had any, you know, she's lived in fear, but in anticipation of wanting his return. She's been convinced that he's going to return. So in some sense, that's very true. Yep. Tabitha McCauley says, Dave, my birthday, okay, is this Sunday. That's the thing I missed. And my fiance bought me the 15-disc collector's edition on Blu-ray of Halloween. I'm super excited to start watching. Oh, well, hey, he's a keeper. I mean, come on. I would say he's a keeper, Tabitha. Let's see here. David Ferguson, the voiceover in the first trailer said Michael killed 3 people on Halloween night 40 years ago. We all know it was 4. What's your thoughts on that? Yeah. Yeah, he did kill, did she say Halloween night? Because technically the voiceover is right. He did kill 3 people on Halloween night. This is a matter of semantics now, right? But yes, some people forget about the mechanic that lies in the bush, in the bushes that looks remarkably like Freddie Mercury, the former lead singer of Queen. And I never noticed it until just recently. I was like, oh yeah. Somebody should make a video where you see that and you hear, is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? That'd be awesome. Maybe I'll do that. He was great. Loved Freddie Mercury. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it didn't really bother me. Someone else said to me, you know, why are they not, you know, saying, why is she not alluding to the three people as her friends? Like, why isn't it, you know, on Halloween night 40 years ago, Michael killed three of my best friends, you know? And I'm like, well, yes, I agree. Actually, that would have been a better emotional connection to the character. And I think actually that probably would have been a creative choice I would have gone with. However, we don't know if this voiceover appears in the actual movie or if this is just a voiceover for the marketing of the film. Okay. I may watch the film tonight and not hear that voiceover at all. Okay. Now you could think, okay, well, maybe she's talking to the two documentary filmmakers, right? You know, 40 years ago, Michael killed, but they already know that. Okay. It plays very much like I mean, we could hear that in the movie, but it plays out very much like it could just be a voiceover for the marketing of the film. It fits the trailer. It fits the creative choices they're making in terms of how they want to present this trailer, right? So it's just kind of like a voiceover that's there. Like it's just this voice that's there, right? And you're hearing Laurie, you know, talk about that kind of thing. So keep that in mind as well. But yeah, I mean, yeah, three people on Halloween night. Yeah, it didn't really bother me. But it's a good question though. It is good. Okay. Hashtag never forget the mechanic. Yeah, that's right. KC Sportsnut 33 says, I don't want to read anything about it. Want to go in open-minded. Well, then starting tomorrow, I'm just saying, if you're on any Halloween-related Facebook pages, you know, don't Google that shit. You know, it's going to be hard for the next month and a bit, next 5.5 weeks. Tim Mendez says, excited to see some shots in the new trailer that look like Halloween 2, 1981. Yes, there's definitely some homages to Halloween 2, 1981 in that first trailer, the more Michael Myers-centric one, especially because we're following him from behind. He picks up the hammer. He goes into the house where there's this younger version of a Mrs. Elrod. Definitely that whole sequence, that whole shot, and also in terms of the lighting as well, is very Halloween 2, 1981. Yep, for sure. Okay, Aircar33 says, Dave, do you think that Michael is aware that the girl in the back of the police car is Laurie's granddaughter? It looks like he is taunting her in the trailer. I would think by now he may, because that obviously is probably happening that scene is probably happening either towards the end of the second act or in the third act. So I would say that, yeah, probably. He may be aware of it. It depends on if there's any sort of moment where Michael overhears Laurie saying that, or, you can't kill my family, or I don't know, something, but he may not as well. He may just want to kill the bitch. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But I think it's possible. I think that scene happens towards the end of the second act, beginning of the third act, because it's very heavily involved, and she's like already, like she's in the cop car, she's already trying to escape, like shit like that usually, like we're we're neck deep now into this movie, right? So that would be my assessment on where that happens. So yeah, I think it's possible. Okay. Thanks, Dave. You're welcome, Tabitha. You're welcome. I'm not a singer. Let's see. Tommy Gibbons. Sorry, Tommy. What are you expecting in terms of gore for the new movie? Well, there's no doubt there's going to be more gore, and we know that. As I've said ad nauseum, they want to bring the essence of what the original was into the 21st century. But yes, it's going to play out very much like a modern day horror film. It's a slasher movie. And I think we are going to see more gore. I've said this. My only hope is that I'm okay. I understand why. From a marketing perspective, from a business perspective, I get why you want to have more gore in this movie. I get it. My only hope would be that the lead up to the gore is very suspenseful and very moody and very atmospheric. And there's that tension there. That's what I want. because I don't want it to be, very Friday the 13th like in the later, films where it's just 1, 2, 3, kill, 1, 2, 3, kill. It's all about the gore. I understand. I've come to terms with the fact that this is going to be a gory movie for the most part. Okay, fine. But don't lose me with no suspense. Have the suspense, have the tension, have the mood, have the atmosphere. And if you want to bring in some gore, okay. We'll have a trade-off, right? We'll compromise, right? I get it. So yeah, there's definitely going to be some gore. We've seen that in some of the photos that have leaked, some of the trailers. So, I just hope that they don't lose that suspense and that eeriness that made the original so great, right? That made Michael so great. That's part of his character. Michael's not a Jason. He lurks in the shadows. He's the shape. He's there. He's not there. They have to play to that. Because if they don't, they've lost the essence of who he was. So yeah, good question. Tim Mendez says, Dave, I agree with you 100% that the new movie needs more blue lighting. Love the video did about that. Yeah, that video has been quite controversial. It's gotten quite the mixed feedback. Because I think people were under the impression that I was saying that I would love to see the whole movie bathed in blue light, and that's not what I was saying. I was saying that from the trailer, there are certain moments that I would have loved to have seen some of that moonlight, some of that low-key blue lighting. And I went into detail from a symbolic standpoint of why I thought it was so important. And that doesn't mean because we didn't see it in the trailers that we're not going to see it. I know there were some people that drew my attention to the part when Michael was in the cop car and the blue police lights were flashing on his face. That's not really the same thing. Okay, like I get that's blue light, but that's not really the same thing of what I was talking about. In the video that I uploaded, I said that, the blue low-key lighting, because you can have different color temperatures in low-key lighting. Low-key lighting just means that you're playing around with the blacks and the darks and the contrast with light and shadow. And, but you can have orange light with low-key lighting as well. I saw a bit of that in this trailer. But the bluish light symbolically, because he's so void of emotion and motive and the absence of character, and he's the boogeyman, and I thought it played so well symbolically to his character. And that was sort of the point I was making. And there's quite a few people that, were calling me all sorts of names and, all that kind of stuff. And because I don't really think they understood what I was talking about. It's not that I want the whole movie bathed in light or in blue light, or that I don't want David Gordon Green to make it his own. Of course I do. But I would think it would be really cool to carry some of that lighting continuity over into this new movie, which we haven't seen in the trailers. Doesn't mean it's not going to be in the movie, but we haven't seen it in the trailers yet, really, right? So that sort of was the point of the video. But of course, people lose their minds, and it's the product of putting yourself out there, folks. Aircar33 says, okay, who is the female hand reaching for Michael's mask in the cop car? Was it a female hand? I wasn't really sure. Well, okay, let's think about it. Who was it? It's probably either Lori or her granddaughter. That would be my guess. I don't even think it would be Lori's daughter, Karen. I think although Karen plays a role in this movie and she's a protagonist sort of, I think it will focus more on her granddaughter because she's of the age. Okay, she's of that, late teens, early 20s. She's of that age. So I think she's going to become the new sort of Laurie Strode in this movie in terms of Halloween 1. And the mother is sort of the odd one out, but she's there anyway because she's the mother and she's related. She's the daughter, right? So she's, she gets into the mix kind of like by default, right? I would be very surprised if there was a scene with Karen Strode, placing her hand so slowly on the mask. And I mean, maybe, but I think that's going to be more reserved for either Lori or Allison, if that is indeed a female hand. You guys have probably watched the trailer a lot more than I have and dissected it with every single, moment. Okay, let me scroll here. Just looking at what you guys are saying. It's great stuff. Tabitha McCauley says, Dave, during the scene of the second trailer where Michael is walking towards the garbage to pick up the hammer. Oh, sorry, the garage. Sorry, you said garage. I said garbage. To pick up the hammer. And they're explaining how Michael killed 3 people in 78. It reminds me of the scene. Oh, in Resurrection when Michael killed the security guards. Yeah. Are you talking? Is that at the beginning of Resurrection? I haven't watched Resurrection in so long. Because there's that voiceover from one of the inmates there, right? Yes, I can see how that would remind you of that. Yep. I think though the execution and its intent in this new trailer was more a throwback to Halloween 2, simply because of the lighting, simply because we get the hammer, and because we get a, Mrs. Elrod-esque woman in her house. So that would be my guess. But I totally see how you would make that, he's walking down the hall after killing them. Yeah, I could totally see how you would make that conclusion. If we're talking about the same scene, I think. Aircar 33, who is the... Oh, yeah, sorry, I already said that. Excuse me. Tim Mendez says, have you ordered the 2018 mask for your own collection? No, I have not. I have not because I didn't pre-order it because the reason why I didn't pre-order it is because I wasn't a big fan of Trick or Treat Studios masks. I'm not talking about the company as a whole, but they're mass producing masks, and the Elrod mask and the official H2 mask I don't think look anything like what they're supposed to look like. The Elrod mask is supposed to look like that scene with him standing behind Mrs. Elrod. Really? It doesn't look anything else. I mean, they're good mass-produced masks, okay? They're better than anything you would find at Walmart. Do you remember the masks that we used to get at Walmart, like, 10 years ago or 5 years ago? Yes, they're better masks than those, but that's not a very high bar, okay? So when I look at the Trick or Treat Studios masks, I'm just not crazy on them. So I was a wait and see. So when I found that, yes, they're getting the actual mold, that they're going to mold it, yes, but you also have to mass produce these things, which means you have to dish out hundreds, if not thousands of these things. Bum, 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 bum. It's an assembly line, right? So, yeah, I mean, from what I see, there are some... now that they've started releasing them and people are getting them and posting their photos of them, there are some that I see that are all right. And there are some that I see that I think miss the mark. So, there are some independent mask makers, which was where that mask came from, that have started to make their own. And, I gotta say, they look better. They look better than even the ones that are coming from the official mold. And that's because they can put the attention to detail in the tiny nuances that you see in that mask in the movie that even the mass-produced ones can't. The mass-produced ones, yes, they're coming from the mold, the real mold, but because they have to dish out so many in a short period of time, it's the details. Okay, the shape is correct, and maybe even the features might be correct, but it's the details in terms of shadowing and weathering and that they can't put in because they have to dish out so many in a short period of time. So that's why some will look really good. You'll look at somebody post, oh, I just got my Trick or Treat, Studios H18 mask. Look, it's like, oh, wow, that actually looks pretty good. And then somebody else will post the same one. It's like, oh, that doesn't... why is that off? Like, it's the same mask. Why is it off? It's because of those details. So I'm a wait and see guy. I'll see. I'm going to the 40th anniversary convention. I have no doubt that Trick or Treat Studios will probably be there. At least you would think they would. And if I see one that I'm like, oh yeah, I could take this and fluff up the hair and kind of, in the right lighting and light and shadow, this might look all right. Maybe I'll pick one up for $60, right? We'll see. We will see. And this is nothing against Trick or Treat Studios. Nothing against them as a company. It's just, this is how I feel about their Michael Myers masks. And I've been spoiled. Like, when you get masks that look like that, it's kind of like, you've been spoiled, right? It's a high bar. Okay. Questions are coming in. Tim Mendez says, I ordered mine from an independent artist because I wanted to get the right look. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Now, obviously, that goes against, what Trick or Treat Studios would advise. And technically, it is illegal, I guess. Whether or not Universal and Blumhouse will come down hard on it, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to do. They tried doing that with those masks years ago, and they sort of did, and then I think they were like, you know what, there's nothing we can do here. I think you will see a crackdown on it, but whether it will last indefinitely, I don't know. But I understand why you would. I get it. It's those nuances, it's those subtleties, those details that the independent artists can take their time on, because they can spend, 2 weeks on a mask. Trick or Treat Studios can't do that. Aircar33 says, I know you think this movie is going to make around $45 million opening weekend. After these 2 trailers, are you sticking with those estimates? Well, great question. My ballpark was 35 on the low end, 45 on the high end. I'm still going to stick on that. I reserve the right to change my opinion, of course, as I see more marketing material come in and as more box office predictions come in. But I think 35 to 45, my initial estimate, which I gave like a couple of months ago, I think was a good estimate. I still don't think it's going to do It numbers. It made like 125 million opening weekend. But would it surprise me if it made 75? No, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't go, what? Because the marketing of these 2 trailers, there's no doubt there's going to be other shit that's coming down the pipe. What are the reviews going to be like from TIFF? That's going to be huge. So, I think it's possible. Absolutely. And it's Halloween time. You're releasing it around Halloween time. It's the first movie to do that since Halloween 5 from 1989. So, you got to factor in those things, but I still don't think it's going to do It numbers. I will be very surprised if it makes $130 million opening weekend. Very surprised. It wouldn't surprise me if it made $130 million domestically in its run, which is very good. You guys have to understand that's very good. Remember, this movie's only costing $10 million to make. Even if you make $35 million opening weekend, it's a win. It's a win. But we're in this day and age now where we're so spoiled with huge bona fide blockbusters that, you only made 30 million opening weekend? Oh. It's like, no, it's all relative, guys. It's relative to the budget. These big bona fide blockbusters like Star Wars and Marvel and DC, they have to make that kind of money because it costs so much to make the movie. Blumhouse, counts on making, if Blumhouse can make 25, 30 mil for Halloween, I mean, maybe they would hope to make more because of the anticipation. They would hope to make more because the more money you make, the better. Who's going to turn down more money, right? Nobody is. But at the end of the day, if they make 35 mil opening weekend and they make 80 mil at the end of their run, well, that's fantastic. Maybe they were like, I'm kind of hoping to get into the hundreds. But at the end of the day, 80 million on a $10 million budget, that's fucking amazing. That's amazing. But we're so desensitized to the relativity of box office numbers that we think that somehow that's bad. And it's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It made $125 million because it was arguably the most highly anticipated horror movie in decades. It made 125 mil at the opening box office because people arguably have been waiting 31 years to see that movie. The novel came out in 1986, and the theatrical silver screen version, the darker version more related to the book, and I still think it could have been darker. I watched it actually a week or so ago, and I like it. I like it, but I still think they could have pushed it more. I still think they could have pushed it more and gone to a really dark place. I don't mean an uncomfortable dark place where it's, you're borderline like what the actual ending was in the book where they all, slept with Bev at the end of the book because I don't mean that kind of thing. I just mean I still think they could have utilized Pennywise and made it darker, much more uncomfortable. But that being said, people had been waiting 31 years to see this adaptation. The anticipation was huge. So that's why it made 125 mil opening weekend. It became the most successful, most profitable horror movie in horror history. I think. Did it pass The Sixth Sense domestic? Because The Sixth Sense was, it definitely was the most money for a horror movie opening weekend for sure. I don't know if it passed The Sixth Sense domestically, but maybe it did. Maybe it did. Anyway, that's my point. Okay, so yeah, so I'm still sticking to 35 to 45 because I think that's a good number to stick to. Anybody that's saying, I had somebody say, dude, it's gonna make fucking 170 mil opening weekend. It's like, what the fuck? 170 mil? Oh, what planet do you live on? What planet do you live on? You know, that's borderline Star Wars numbers. Like, people need to, but it's because they don't understand how box office works and how marketing works and how anticipation works. And, you know, I just find it fun. I think 35 to 45 is a good number. And if they can hit 55 to 60, well, that's great. That's amazing. But anybody that thinks this is going to do 140 mil opening weekend, no way. No way. And if it does, well, then I'll eat crow and I'll come back on here and say I'm eating crow. Okay. Got me fired up there. David Ferguson. We all have spoke about our favorite Michael Myers kills. What is your most horrific? Mine is when he killed poor Lindsay's dog during the original. Yeah, poor Lindsay's dog, eh? Aw, what the hell was the dog's name again? Chester? Was it Chester? Lester. It was Lester. I think it was Lester. Well, I actually did a video on my favorite kills of Halloween a couple of months ago. I have two. My favorite kills in the original series are obviously when he kills Linda with the phone cord, because that's the first time we get to see Michael with any sort of close proximity. When he lifts his head up into frame with the phone, love that. And that's like, oh, dude, who the fuck is this guy? Whoa, that's awesome. And in Halloween 2, actually, 1981, I love when that nurse goes into Dr. Mixter's office, I should say, and spins him around. He's got, you know, the needle in his eye, and she backs up into the darkness, and you see Dick Warlock slowly emerge from the darkness, and there's like this reddish hue. I love that. Love that. That scene in Halloween 2 is very Halloween 1. That's the kind of shit I'm hoping I see in this new movie. Doesn't mean the entire movie has to be based with it, okay? But we gotta see something like that. We gotta see something like that. At least I hope so. Okay. Tabitha McCauley, how much are the tickets for tonight? Oh, geez. They vary, Tabitha. I was very fortunate because I know people who work in the industry that I was able to get mine. But they are, it depends. There's two showings. There's one at 11:30 p.m. and there's one at 11:59 p.m. And the 11:59 one is the premiere ticket, because that's one where there could be a little juicy, some extras. That's, you know, reserved for cast and crew Q&As. But I don't know if anybody from Halloween is in Toronto right now. I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anybody mentioning it on their Twitters. They might be reserving that for the Los Angeles premiere in October. So you would think, because this is the world premiere of Halloween, they would send somebody, you know, Malik, you know, here's a plane ticket, head up there, or you know, send somebody up. But I haven't heard too much about it. But I'm going to the 11:30 showing, because that worked better for me in terms of time. So my buddy and I are going to the 11:30 showing. But I mean, it's the same movie in the same theater in the same building, just half an hour apart from each other. Who cares at the end of the day, right? And I get to see everything first, technically, if you think about it. I'm seeing everything first because my show's at 11:30. So I'll be like, 20 minutes ahead of everybody else. So technically I am seeing it first. But yeah, the tickets vary. I mean, because of the packages. You could probably spend a couple $100 on a ticket if you're not careful. But TIFF is selling them. Premiere tickets to world premieres can range anywhere from, I think, $40 to $80 a ticket, something like that. So it can be tricky, and they sold out a long time ago. I mean, I'm very fortunate that I do what I do for a living, and I know certain people who know people You know, I don't take that for granted. And even I wasn't guaranteed it. You know, it's not like I know anybody who works for Blumhouse, right? And they're like, hey, Dave, here you go, right? No, not at all. But I'm very fortunate to know certain people, and I don't take that for granted. And I made a few phone calls, and I was like, dude, are you? And they're like, yeah, do you want? I was like, yeah, like, you know, can we make this work? And it was touch and go there for a bit. But I was able to actually able to go. So I'm really grateful and thankful for that. Okay. Tim Mendez says, breaking the law. Yeah. Tabitha McAuliffe. Blah, blah, blah. Can't speak today. Tabitha McCauley, at TIFF tonight, is the premiere open to the public or only certain people? If I could go there, I would watch it too. No, it's open to the public. It is. Now, industry insiders will also be there as well. Absolutely. But it is open to the public. TIFF is known as one of the largest, most prestigious film festivals in the world. Absolutely. But it's also known as one of the largest, if not the largest, one of the largest publicly attended film festivals, which is what makes it so attractive. About 450,000 people ascend? No, that's going up. Descend. Descend's going down. Anyway, 450,000 people roll into Toronto when TIFF is on to attend all sorts of movies. It's not just Halloween. I mean, there's so many movies. There's over like 100 movies that are premiering at TIFF, and TIFF is known as the unofficial sort of kickoff to the Oscars, right? So a lot of Oscar-baity movies that, you know, the studios feel could have Oscar potential will premiere at TIFF. Now, I'm not suggesting in the slightest that Halloween is Oscar worthy and that's why they're premiering it at TIFF. No, I think they're premiering it at TIFF because it's one of the largest film festivals in the world and one of the largest before the October 19th release date. So it's a good festival to premiere this highly anticipated horror movie. There's lots of movies that premiere at TIFF that don't go on to win Oscars and are not premiering because they think they are going to win Oscars. But there's quite a few that do. So it's a very highly anticipated event for that reason, and it's a very prominently attended event by the public and insiders as well. So there will be, along with the general public, there will be industry professionals attending the Halloween premiere tonight as well. So yeah, but if you were close to Toronto and you had tickets, you could go. Will Myers, Halloween 5 only made $11 million at the box office. Yeah. Yeah. And adjusted for inflation, that might be over 20 mil or something, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Halloween 5 was a fucking shit show. Yari Kron says, Yari Kron, I've never seen that name before. It's you. Oh, Curry. Of course. More thoughts on the Shape 2018 walking. I prefer my Dick Warlock. His head doesn't bounce. Warlock kind of glides. Yeah, I think what James Jude Courtney's doing, as I said earlier, I think what he's doing is solid. Again, he has to replicate the best he can what Nick Castle did, okay? Because this movie is a direct sequel to that. But he still has to make it his own. But maybe he's bringing a little bit of a flavor of a Warlock there too. Who knows, right? I like what he's done. You know, I like what he's done. Certainly, I think we all can agree. Nobody is watching the trailers going, holy fuck. Oh boy. James Jude, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, we're all watching and going, yeah, okay, looks good. I buy it. You know, and if anybody has any issues with the trailers, it's never Michael Myers. It's never The Mask, and it's never what James Jude Courtney is doing. It's either maybe the lighting, or maybe, that scene, or maybe I didn't like Laurie, how she said that, or, like, whatever it is. It's those kind of, nitpicks, right? It has nothing to do with what James Jude is doing. So, yeah, I agree. John Bruce says, I've said 55 mil opening weekend for months. I bumped that to 60 million. Yeah, that's entirely possible. I can get behind that, but I can't get behind people who are saying 125, 130 million. Okay. This does not have the general appeal that it had. Okay, and there's specific reasons for that I could go into. And I'm not saying that it's not big. I'm not saying that a lot of people are not going to go see it. I'm not saying that. But there are factors, there's variables as to why a Halloween could make 60 million opening weekend and why it made 125. Why is that, right? That's nearly double, right? So why is that? Well, I could do a video where I break it down. There are variables and reasons as to why. And it's not that Halloween isn't highly anticipated or that it's not going to make a lot of money. It's not personal. It's business. There are psychological and unconscious reasons in terms of the reach and in terms of the business, and there's many reasons. So I could get behind that. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I could get behind that. Very high end. Yeah, wow, what an opening weekend, exceeded expectations. I could get behind that. But anybody that says 130 million, that's just somebody I don't think that understands how this works. Could it make 130 million? Well, of course it could. But I think the probability begins to become very, very low. It begins to become a Walmart Myers mask, in my opinion. Rory Moore says, Dave, in your opinion, before even seeing the movie, how do you think the reporters got the mask? Do you think they stole it? Or how would you have written it in the story they got? Well, I think they either got it, somebody suggested a long time ago, maybe somebody watching, that Lori has the mask. She has the mask. And she gives it to the reporters, the documentary filmmakers, because they go and see her before they go see Michael at the sanitarium. I think that's possible. Yeah, I could see it being that way. I think maybe it's more likely that the mask has been, locked up. I made that prediction in my predictions video back in February. I said that the mask maybe is locked up in an evidence locker or, whatever the case is. And when the filmmakers go to the sanitarium, they're able to get their hands on it because there's some sort of thing they want to do psychologically with him. I don't even know why he's doing that. Like, why would you antagonize him? Like, why would you do that? I'm very curious to see how they explain why they're doing that, All right, well, let's go out into the courtyard and antagonize this bastard. Hey, Michael, do you recognize this? It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you do that? Why would you do that, right? So I'm very curious to see how they're going to explain why they're doing that. But that would be my guess. How I would have written it, I probably would have gone the evidence locker route. Yeah, something like it's just been locked away, because it's evidence. Of that horrific night, or like, why would Lori have it? I mean, it's a piece of evidence, and unless Lori wanted it or she stole it or Loomis gave it to her years ago, or, maybe she has it sitting on a shelf somewhere like we do, right? Like maybe it's on a shelf on a head, on a foam head, and she uses it for, inspiration or something. I mean, maybe, I don't know. There's so many different ways that you could do it, but if I was writing it, I probably would write it that way. Not the foam head way. I mean, the way that it's locked up somehow. Tabitha McCauley, Dave, how many people are on level 3 Patreon right now? Well, believe it or not, guys, we're only averaging about, 12 to 15 people per Thorazine episode, which I actually don't mind. It makes it a little more intimate, and you guys are probably like, oh, I don't care. That means I get, a ton of, questions answered, right? But funny enough, we have about 45 people that are on level number 3, and only 12 to 15 people are tuning in. So I find that strange. Maybe it's the day. Maybe the rest of those people just, are, they just got shit going on Saturday mornings, and maybe they watch it later, right? Or they're not getting the notifications through my Patreon. That's why it's so important. I know it can be, but I don't think I post on, I don't post a lot, but when I do post, it's worth it, right? So that's why it's so important to have that notification on, so when I'm doing shit, right? So unless they're not getting the notifications, or yeah, that's right, maybe they forgot about it. Maybe they did. Maybe they forgot about it. But then, they're paying each and every month, but they're not taking advantage of why they're paying, right? It's like you're paying, $15 a month for the magazine, but you're never getting the magazine, So it's, I mean, I send out reminders to them. I send out reminders. Hey guys, want to make sure, you can tune in or you can check this kind of stuff, but, or maybe they just believe in the channel so much that they just want to support it, and that's great too. But definitely, yeah, there's about 45 people, which is kind of funny, but, Hey, I put the link out there. I remind people about it. That's all I can do, right? Okay, KC Sports Not 33. Dave, we've decided to rename the show Echozine. Echozine. Oh, there's no echo now, right? Please tell me there's no echo. That you're just making a joke about the top of the video. Yeah. Echozine. Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah, God, what the fuck, man? I'm telling you. Okay, no echo now. Okay, good. Aircar33, I hope they are not letting things like family and jobs get in the way. Get your priorities right. Hey, you know what? I'm totally cool if they tune in afterwards because, you got family, you got work, you got jobs, you got things you got to do. That's always going to come first. It just surprises me. It just kind of surprises me. But that's okay. Hey, that's okay. The more intimate, the better, right? Let me just scroll back here. Tim Mendez says, thanks for the good show today. I gotta go have a good time tonight. Oh, Tim's probably gone already, but yeah, hey, no problem, Tim. Take care. Have a good weekend, buddy. David Ferguson, I like the scene in the trailer when you see Michael standing in the distance at the graveyard when we see Judith's gravestone. I like that too. And in my initial reaction, I thought maybe it was Nick Castle because of the beard. But James Jude Courtney has a white beard in the movie. He does. There's a set photo with Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney on set. They're arm in arm, like they're posing for the camera. And James Jude Courtney has a white beard. Yeah, so it's him. And it's him. A lot of people, for some reason, think it's Nick Castle in the sanitarium in the white getup. It's not. It's James Jude Courtney. 100%. James Jude Courtney. Yeah, the only scene with Nick Castle is that scene when Laurie shoots him through the window. Now, he does appear in another scene, but not as Michael Myers, okay? So maybe he appears as, I think so. At least he alluded to that in one of his Twitter posts. So maybe he's a neighbor that the kids go up to the door. He opens the door and he's like, oh, hey, guys, here's some candy. Oh, cool, that's Nick Castle. Do you know what I mean? I think that's going to happen. But again, keep in mind, just because he said, now it may be a matter of semantics, but just because he said one scene doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that it's one shot. So it's entirely possible that scene where we see Nick Castle through the window and she shoots the mirror, and it's possible that scene could play out over the next minute and a half and we get multiple shots with Nick Castle as Michael Myers. Or it could just be semantics and that is it. It's just that one shot. But I agree. I've been saying this for a long time, and I agree for those who are now saying it. I believe that's the first time that Laurie sees him. Yeah, I think that's the first time she sees him, and he goes like this. Absolutely. First time. I'm so confident in that, I'd put money on it. Tabitha McCauley. It's the second time I've got your name wrong. Tabitha Macaulay. Dave, have you seen any pictures of James JC with hair? Because I haven't, and I swear the bathroom scene is Nick. No, it's not Nick. It's not Nick. No, it's all James Jude Courtney, guys. It is. Yep. And he doesn't have hair. Are you talking about when the head smashes the door? That's actually the head of the male documentary filmmaker. Yeah, Michael's taking his head and smashing it against the door. Michael Martinez. Hi, Dave. Make sure to eat popcorn and candy for Halloween premiere tonight. Yeah, I don't think they sell popcorn and candy because it's not a regular movie theater, right? It's a theater. So I don't believe they're going to have concessions set up. But maybe I'll be able to sneak in a granola bar or something. I don't know. Because it is kind of late, and it'll be so long after I've had dinner that I'll probably be hungry. So maybe I can, get a bar or something, or a candy bar or something. Aircar 33. Just talking to Tabitha. Rory Moore. Funny how when he bumps into the kid, seems like he is going to drop the F-bomb. Like, hey, what the fuck? Then he looks up and sees Michael and was like, oh, never mind. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, in the new trailer. I noticed that too. Yeah, the kid was like, what the fuck? Oh, hey. Or something like that. Yeah. I noticed that too. Curry says, what do you think about George P. Wilbur? I thought he was too bulky. Joe Chappell agrees. Yeah, the director of Halloween 6. I like George P. Wilbur more in Halloween 4. Get rid of the shoulder pads, though. He doesn't need shoulder pads. Okay? But I liked him more in 4. Between 4 and 6, George had put on a bit of weight. So Michael, in certain scenes... Now, there was another gentleman who played him as well in some of the reshoots. Some of the stuff towards the end of the movie. But George P. Wilbur, yeah, he's a little chunkier. I don't mean fat or anything, but just he's a bit chunkier. He's not as sleek as he was in Halloween 4. I actually don't mind him. He's probably my second... I like Dick Warlock's portrayal. There's moments where Dick's a little too robotic for me, but I do like his portrayal. I do. So at the very least, I would say he's my third favorite Michael Myers. Yeah. From Halloween 4. And again, there's things in Halloween 4 I'm not crazy on, but generally speaking, there's moments where I'm like, yeah, he's all right. You know, it's acceptable. Guillermo Medina. Hey, Dave. Hey, Guillermo. That Michael Myers sit-up is very quick, but awesome. Yes, in the trailer, the Michael Myers, yes, he sits up, and it's very fast. But keep in mind, it could be part of the editing, okay? To keep in line with the pace of the trailer. The pace of the trailer is very quick, very fast, and they have him come up as like a shock, like ba-ba-bum, right? Whereas the actual movie, you might actually see more of the classic sort of methodic sit-up, okay? But if they had done that in the trailer, it would have broken pace. Now, you still could have broken pace and reassembled it again. You could have done that. But definitely having him sit up slowly would have broken the energy and the pacing leading up to that moment. So keep in mind, it could just be that they've sped that moment up to show you that bum, you know, he's getting back up, right? So, but I agree with what you're saying. It definitely was more of a quick kind of sit up in that regard. Okay, David Ferguson says, is H4 still in the lead for movie night? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, next Saturday, open to level number 3 patrons. Everybody, hopefully we'll get more than 15 people. I am doing the Saturday movie night. And yeah, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers it looks like that's going to be the movie. So that's a good time to remind all you guys. This time, next Saturday, September the 15th, 2018, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know it's a little late for you guys on the across the pond, so I do apologize for that. But of course, I have to cater to, you know, what's best for me and you know, the majority and things like that. But hopefully, because it's Saturday night, you guys will be able to be up a bit later, right? Rather than like a Tuesday night where you got to get up for work or something, right? So that's why I made it Saturday night. So hopefully that'll be okay. Now, obviously, you won't be able to see Halloween 4, but if you have Halloween 4, I encourage you to watch along with me. So I will, you know, at the beginning of the video, I'll be like, okay, I'm starting the movie. Here's what's on the screen now. And I'll hit play, and you guys can be like, okay, play, and we can watch together. That would be cool, right? So, yes. And then once it's done, it's a live feed. Once it's done, then it will go up on my YouTube channel for everybody to see. But because you guys are level number 3 patrons, you get the exclusive access to watching live, which I think is really cool. So, yeah. Okay. Scroll then. Rory Moore says, Dave, I know you're not going to ruin the movie for us, but are you going to at least give us your opinion on it? Like, yes, go see this fucking movie, or be like, it was okay, but go see it and give me your idea. Well, like I said, I'm not going to spoil it. Reviews for Halloween 2018 are going to be out tomorrow, as I said earlier. But I probably will give a general sort of, you know, small paragraph on Twitter, on Many Things Dave McRae, on my Facebook page, even maybe here as well on YouTube. I'll make a post about it, or a quick little video giving a sort of and I mean quick, like maybe 10 seconds, okay? Because I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to go into details of what I saw or what I liked and what I didn't like, because I don't want you guys to have any preconceived notions or ideas. Now, that doesn't mean you can on your own go and Google the reviews and read it and have it all spoiled for you. And I'm sure a lot of you will, and I'm sure a lot of people will. But the principle for me is it's not going to come from me, because I want you guys to experience it the way I did. And I'm experiencing it not knowing anything. And I want you guys to know that too. So, but it's entirely up to you. Okay. That's just me. David Ferguson, late night movie next Saturday sounds good. Gonna have a few beers and tune in over here in Scotland. Yes! Yes, see? There you go. See, it's gonna work. It's probably gonna be about midnight for you, but hey, what the hell? Get some beers, sit back, relax. You know, the next day's Sunday. Yeah, watch Halloween 4. Maybe I'll have a beer too. We'll see. I don't know if I can do that live, though. Am I allowed to do that? Am I allowed to drink alcohol on a live feed? I don't know. It's a good question. I'll look into that. If not, I'll just drink a chocolate milk. I love chocolate milk. Mull? Did I say mull? I meant milk. I love chocolate milk. Okay. Tabitha McCall. There I go again. I screwed up on your name again. That's the third time today. Tabitha, I apologize. I think it's because I'm speaking too fast. Tabitha Macaulay. Who else in this chat will be tuning in next Saturday? Yeah, everybody. Hopefully everybody will tune in. It'll be awesome. I think I need more water, Tabitha. I ran out of water. I need to go buy another case of water. I think that's the problem. All right. Oh, that's it. I'm done. Good thing we're coming to the home stretch now. I don't know. See, that's that. Excuses. Yeah. I don't know. That's what I mean. Can I? Can I not? I have no idea. I mean, you guys can, obviously, while you watch me, because, you know, you're not live, but I don't know if I can. That's a very good question. I'll look into it. David Ferguson. Oh, put a whiskey in your chocolate milk. No one will be. Hey, there you go. I don't know how that'll taste. But why the hell not? Tommy Gibbons says, even though I work Sunday, I will be there. Ah, cool, Tommy. Appreciate that. Again, it'll go right back up into my YouTube channel for everybody to see, so you can always tune in later as well. So, no pressure. Aircar33 says, Dave, I almost don't envy you seeing the movie. Not being able to talk about it would suck. Yeah, you know, I'm pretty good at keeping secrets, and as long as I think it's because why it's easier for me is because I'm being true to my principles. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, as they say, and I'm not trying to be a party pooper and take the air out of the room. But it's just, I really feel so strongly about you guys having that opportunity to experience it like I did. Like, I'm seeing it tonight, not knowing anything about it, just as much as you guys know, right? What we've seen from the trailers. And I'm going to have the opportunity to sit in a theater with, well, like 1,000 people, because it's such a big theater, and watch this movie for the first time. And I think that's so awesome. And I want you guys to experience that as well. If you guys don't care about that, well, then, to each their own, right? It's all subjective. But I would love for you guys to have that experience, because it's like, wow. So I think because I feel so strongly about it, I'm not kind of going, I want to say something. Lori dies. It doesn't, which I'm not saying she does. I have no idea, but I don't feel that need to say it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Maybe I will upload a review prior to October the 19th. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the general consensus is in terms of how these reviews are going to start to roll out. Whether it, we'll see how it works. But as of right now, yeah, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I just don't. That doesn't mean I can't give a yay or a nay and give a generic sort of small, what I thought, but I'm not going to go into detail. Can you imagine if I uploaded a video tomorrow? Hey guys, how's it going? So the movie begins. There's this shot, and we're following down, and I loved it because there was this thing, and then Michael. Okay, we see that. Can you imagine? And I know you guys couldn't contain yourselves. You couldn't contain yourselves. You're like those kids on Christmas morning that, like 2 days before. Can I open a gift now? Can I just open one gift now? It's like, no, you gotta wait till Christmas morning. Okay, we'll go for another 5 minutes, guys, until 12:30. As usual, you guys know that my Thorazine episodes, I try to keep to 90 minutes. And also, I got a pretty busy day ahead of me, so I gotta get going. So another 5 minutes here. Michael Martinez says, "Hey Dave, hope you really enjoy Halloween tonight." Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Aircar33 says, "We appreciate it, Dave, and I hope you have a great time watching the movie. And I respect the fact that you have respect for us to let us experience the movie for ourselves." Yeah, I appreciate that. Try again. Okay. 1 sec. All right. I'm not sure what happened. Okay. I'm not sure what happened. My apologies. Do you think you will be able to hide your disappointment? Yes. Oh, yeah. Yep, I got poker face, man. I got poker face. Rory Moore, guess he meant second. Yeah, 5. I meant second. All right. Michael Martinez says, "Hey, oh no. Oh no. I lost it again. Oh wait, there we are. We're back. Must be the connection. All right, let's see if we can really get this going here. Sorry about that, guys. I got stuff out. Maybe if I close this, maybe that'll help. We'll see here. Okay, maybe if I speak really slowly. Nothing will happen. Okay. Michael Martinez says, "Hey Dave, imagine watching Halloween with real mental patients." Oh yes. That would be amazing. Aircar33 says, "Do us a favor. If it is a shit show, tell us." I will not tell you. I will not tell you if it's a shit show. Nope, I will not tell you because I want you, because it's all subjective, right? So I will not tell you. If you want to know whether it's a shit show, you will have plenty of reviews to read tomorrow. That's just my principle. I just because I think it's fair. Patrick Thorpe. Patrick Thorpe, welcome, Patrick. You're tuning in just a little. Hey, 16 people watching. Oh my God, I think that's like the most we've had. Have a great time tonight, Dave, tonight. Hopefully I can get to a midnight showing since October 18th is my birthday. Oh, cool. Happy early birthday. I hope you can, Patrick. That would be awesome. Rory Moore says, "You know you are going to have to put H5 and Resurrection and H2O eventually for us to watch with you, Dave." Oh, yeah. No, I know. Oh, yeah, don't worry. I'm not against watching Halloween H2O or Halloween 5. Yeah, they will come as part of Saturday movie night. And since we're gearing up, towards Halloween, maybe in the month of October, I will list all those movies and you can pick which one you want to watch. Because right now I'm just doing the the Saturday movie night once a month at the moment. It might pick up to 2, but I want to keep it, I want to keep the expectations realistic right now. But yeah, I could totally do that. Oh, David Ferguson, put Jaws on the movie night list. Yes, that would be awesome too. Good thinking. Love Jaws. Okay, let's see here. Scroll. We got 2 more minutes because I promised Tabitha McCauley 1 more minute. Tabitha McCauley says, "Since you're going tonight, will you also be attending the October 19th showing?" Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, especially if I really like it. Yes, because I'll want to watch it again because it'll be about 5.5 weeks since I've seen the movie, right? So I will want to be able to, that's 5.5 weeks of things soaking in. That's 5.5 weeks of reading other people's reviews. That's 5.5 weeks of me having a chance to really absorb what I saw. So then I'll have the opportunity on October the 19th to go see it again, not at a premiere, with more of a general audience and see it again and really make, a real sort of assessment with how I feel about it. So good question, Tabitha. Yes, I definitely will be doing that. Michael Martinez says, "My favorite slasher is My Bloody Valentine, made in Canada." Yes. Oh, yeah. We dish out some pretty good movies. We do, Summer of '84, Black Christmas, The Changeling, My Bloody Valentine? Yep, we do. From time to time, we do. Rory Moore says, Dave, just put a piece of paper around your drink and write on the paper, healthy drink. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Okay, 1 more minute. Will Myers, have a good time tonight, Dave. Thank you, Will. I will. I may do a live stream from downtown Toronto, so keep looking for that. I'm going to be recording footage as well from the event, but that's footage that that I'm going to assemble into a video and hopefully upload tomorrow for you guys. But I am planning, hopefully doing maybe a live feed tonight as well. Not a long one, but just sort of a live feed to let you guys see where I am, what's going on. My buddy Bruce, who also works in the film industry, you guys have seen him on this channel from time to time. He will be with me because he's attending the premiere with me. So look out for that later today as well. So yeah. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for me. I really appreciate you tuning in for this episode 7 of Thorazine. And yeah, I will let you guys know when the next episode will be, of course, via Patreon. So look out for that. This was a good episode. Great questions as always, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in. I really appreciate not only the questions, but the quality of the questions that you guys ask. I think you guys are awesome. So yeah. So until next time, the next time you guys see me, I will be downtown Toronto. It's going to be interesting. Going to be very interesting. So in the meantime and in between time, I will talk to you guys soon. I'm just going to get this ready to go off here. Okay. Keep in mind that I also have a live Patreon AMA that I'm in the middle of putting together as well. That's only going to run for 30 minutes, and I'm also going to try doing that once a month too, which is open to all patrons. A lot of stuff I'm trying to juggle, but hopefully we can all make it work. So yeah. So I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in.